going to ask how that partnership came about, but I guess you've just known each other since those days.
Yeah, so we weren't like close. She's a couple of years older than me. So she was in her last year when I came into my first year. But like if you're involved in sports, so she was on the netball team and I was on the athletics team, but I had friends who did netball, so I would go to like their socials with them. And like I'd always Zara is Zara, she's so lovely. Like she's so like welcoming and approachable. We would always like chat and say hello. And then we sort of reconnected when we did Strive a couple of seasons ago. I think it was like 2 years ago. And then she was like, "Oh, we should do a doubles together." And I was like, "Yeah, like that'd be amazing." But I was not to Zara's level. Obviously, Zara was Elite 15. I was like, "I'm not there yet. So I need to get better in order to match you." And then obviously it sort of came about in the summer. She said, like, "Shall we do one?" And I was like, "Oh my God, absolutely." And it went from there.
Awesome. So you qualified for the Elite 15 doubles in Stockholm at Hamburg, which was your first Elite 15 race. Like how was, obviously, like we can talk about the result and the race, but like how was the experience overall of that Elite 15? Was it like
Oh,
good?
it was amazing. Like for me, that was like on my bucket list. Whatever I do in this sport, I just want to compete, even if it's once. I want to get to that level. And I'm not there yet with the singles, but like I'm not far. But the doubles, I was like, oh my God, like we're here. And I just remember like looking at my coach. She was with me, and I was just like, when you're like, "How am I here? How have I got here?" And I love big competitions. I love the pressure. Like I've always enjoyed performing under pressure. And even when I could kept hearing the word penalty, but I wasn't really sure what was going on at that point, I just was saying to myself, Gabriella, just enjoy, like, don't get stressed. Just enjoy this moment in time because this is a moment that you might never experience again. And I think that is what pulled me through the second half of the race. I just sort of let go and was like, enjoy everything that's happening right now because this is all you've worked for. This is amazing.
Yeah, yeah. Um, okay, for people that don't know or didn't see the race, like, so you've got 60 seconds worth of penalties in the race,
Mm.
and then still managed to finish third after a fairly tense finish, waiting at the wall balls to be able to cross the finish line. But um, do you know what the penalties were for? Do you feel like they were fair?
Um, we've spoken about this a lot. We couldn't sleep that night of the race anyway. We were so buzzing. So me and Zara were like going through everything, and she just kept apologizing at the end. I mean, I was flat out on the floor. I didn't know what was going on, but she just kept like, "I'm sorry, it was my fault. It's my fault." I was like, "Nothing was your fault. Like, what are you talking about?" She's like, "The penalties were all me." I was like, "Zara, they were not. Like, I can assure you, they were not." I said, "I think." We got one in the box. I stood on the line. That was me. I said to her, "That was me." And then there was a confusion when we pulled the sled. Zara had pulled the sled and they said, "You haven't pulled it across the line." And we both got angry. We were like, "We have pulled it over the line." So you can see like we run back and then they're like, "Yeah, yeah, you have." And then I just thought, "Oh my God, just we're gonna have to really, get a move on with this." And then the burpees, because again, the grid is a new format. I had no idea how, I mean, we were sent a rule book, but in the moment, I'm not remembering everything that is in the rule book. I think Zara got one for staggered, and then they gave her another one before she'd even finished the jump. And I was like, "Move, Zara, get out of the way," and then tried to do it. And then I got one. And then I got one for not putting my hands behind the line at the end. So
Okay.
it was like, so that's what it was. So I went, "They're evenly split, Zara. It was both of our faults. Do not worry." But let's say it's safe to say we've really been practicing our burpees now.
It is quite hard. I mean, I don't know what you think, to get a perfectly aligned, like non-staggered
Yeah,
jump right on the burpees. So
100%, 100%.
yeah.
I think there is like, and the thing is, when it is an observation. You had some people, obviously everyone did amazing in that race, but like when you look back on YouTube and I see some compared to ours, and I was like, I think Charlie and Ollie had the same, like,
Mhm.
no offense to the judge, I'm sure he was really doing his job. He was very thorough. I'll say he's a very thorough judge. But they had the similar issue with us. And I think that's the only thing it's trying to managed that so it is fair for everyone. But it's still new, and it is hard to tell with people when they are taking off and everything. But let me tell you, it's so hard in that in that
Yeah, yeah,
situation to ensure that you are taking off like that. But we will all everyone has to get better at it. Like, that's all we can do.
yeah. Did you like you said you heard there were penalties? Did you know like how much you'd got during the race?
Um, I just kept hearing my name and penalty, and I was like, God, what? They keep saying, like, what have I done? Like, I'm really, because after the burpees, and I was in a real, it's just some race where you're hanging on for dear life. That was
Mm.
one of those races, and I did not care what was going on. I just wanted to get to the end of that race. But in my head, I was trying to math, and I'm not very good at math, and I was trying to math how many penalties we'd accumulated. And it wasn't until I sat on the rower and Zara whispered in my ear, "We're going to have to run really fast now, Gabs."
You like already was.
She's so gentle and so calm, and I just was like, I couldn't say anything at the time, but in my head I was like, "Yep, yep, can do that, Zara, yep." And I could see Lauren, so my coach, like, we're so well, like, I saw in her face the sheer panic, and was thinking, "Lauren, you're not helping me right now. You're looking very panicked, and that's worrying me." But you can just see at the end, we didn't know how far we had on, I think it was the Van der Lindenloof sisters and, Seka and Camilla. I knew we'd made up a lot of ground on that last run, but we were running for our, like, God, really, really running. And I was in such a bad way. I thought we'd come third. I mean, fourth. I thought we'd come fourth. And Zara was grabbing my hand and everything. I was like, why is she so, we've come fourth. It's all right. Like, it is what it is. And I didn't know till the finish line. And there's a video I sort of go, and she goes, we did it. And I'm like, yeah, we finished. And she's like, no, we did it. And I went, what? We come third? She went, yes, Gabby. And I went, oh, like I had no idea.
So even waiting like in that box at the after the wall balls like that you had that 60-second wait, you had no idea.
Honestly, I was in a parallel universe. I felt sick. Like, I felt really sick, and I was just looking, and Zara was looking confused, so I was just mirroring Zara. I was looking at Zara and then going, yeah, pretty like, just watching it. But everyone was like screaming, and it was just a lot to process. I could hear my mum, my mum and dad. My mum was tapping on the barrier, going, "Let them go, let them go." It was just all going on. But that will forever be the most exciting race I've ever done. Like,
Yeah, yeah. I was,
it's
I was going
mad.
to say you made it exciting. You made it exciting to watch, definitely.